Welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
Today, we're jumping into, well, a really complex one, the India-Pakistan relationship, and specifically Kashmir.
hmm Decades of history, lots of angles.
Right. And look, we're not going to rehash every detail. The idea today is more about pulling out potential concrete steps forward, actionable ideas.
Exactly. What are the practical things, based on what's been discussed, that might actually make a difference? Finding those key stepping stones.
Okay, so first things first. Seems almost obvious, but it comes up constantly. Direct talks.
Dialogue, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more than just sitting down. It's about calm, constructive conversation, choosing talk over, well, conflict.
And crucial to that is creating the right atmosphere, right? Which means
Stopping the violence, that's fundamental.
Yeah.
Both sides committing to it. Otherwise, any conversation is just, it's built on shaky ground.
very fragile.
Right.
Okay, so stability first, then dialogue. What else?
Finding common ground, shared interests.
Like what specifically?
Things like trade opportunities, managing water resources that cross borders, maybe even collaborating on, say, disease control. Practical stuff.
Things that benefit both populations directly.
Precisely. The idea is, if you can successfully work together on these things, it starts to sort of build a little bit of trust. Maybe makes tackling the harder issues seem less impossible.
Like building momentum.
Yeah, a positive spillover. Success in one area might grease the wheels for another.
Interesting. Now, what about getting outside help? Mediation comes up too.
It does. Bringing in a neutral third party. Could be another country, maybe an international group, someone impartial.
To act as a facilitator.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
To help find common ground when talks get stuck. But the key thing there is impartiality.
Both sides have to see them as genuinely neutral.
And be willing to actually listen to their suggestions. Otherwise, it doesn't really go anywhere. But it can offer a fresh perspective sometimes.
Okay. And central to all this, something that feels incredibly important, is the people actually living in Kashmir.
Absolutely critical. Their voices, their needs, their aspirations, they have to be front and center in any kind of lasting solution.
It can't just be about the high-level politics between nations.
No. Any sustainable path forward has to genuinely involve and consider the perspectives of Kashmiris. It's their future, after all.
Makes sense. Then there's the really tough issue, terrorism.
Yeah, unavoidable. The need for both countries to absolutely commit firmly to stopping any support for groups using violence against civilians.
That's often framed as a non-negotiable point, isn't it?
It really is. Without that clear commitment, any trust built elsewhere just gets undermined. It creates this background fear and instability.
So stopping violence, direct talks, finding common ground, maybe mediation, centering the Kashmiri people and tackling terrorism. What about history, past agreements?
Right. Honoring previous commitments. Things like the Simla Agreement back in '72 or the Lahore Declaration in '99.
These were moments where they agreed on certain principles, even if they didn't solve everything.
Exactly. They represent agreed-upon starting points. So revisiting them, building on them, it might be less contentious than trying to invent something entirely new from scratch. It's familiar ground.
Like using an existing foundation.
Sort of, yeah. And related to that is this idea of taking small steps, gradual trust building.
Not trying to solve everything overnight.
Definitely not. Given the history, that's probably unrealistic. So think smaller, concrete actions.
Like what?
Maybe easing trade restrictions slightly, or allowing more family visits across the line of control. Tangible things people can see.
Confidence-building measures.
That's the term. Little steps that hopefully create a positive cycle. Showing goodwill, building understanding slowly. It takes time.
So it really sounds like a package deal, not just one magic bullet. It's dialogue, de-escalation, cooperation, maybe some outside help, focusing on the people affected, dealing with terrorism, respecting the past, and these small, steady steps.
It's a multifaceted approach, definitely, which leads to a challenging thought, perhaps, for you listening.
Yeah.
Given all these different pieces, these potential levers, if you had to pick just one specific action by either side, what do you think might create the biggest positive ripple effect right now? The most momentum?
That's a tough one. Lots to think about there. Who has the agency? What's most feasible? Definitely something to mull over.
Indeed. Food for thought.